Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. I've homeschooled for 7 years and I've been a mom for 12 years. I've got to be like full of wisdom, right? No. Today's video is a don't do what I did video. Okay, today's video is all about what I've done wrong to try to help you guys learn from my mistakes. I did one of these, a don't do what I did homeschooling version video. I will link that in the description box below and right up here you can see if you guys want to watch that. But today's is a don't do what I did video all about chores. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 easy steps to follow to make sure that chores don't get done in your house. So if you want to find out how to make sure that chores don't get done in your house, you're going to want to follow these 5 tips. And if you want to make sure chores do get done, then you're not going to want to follow these tips. Either way, you want to watch this. So stay tuned. So this video is in collaboration with Anna over at Just Making It Work. I love doing collaborations with her because she is just awesome. Not only is she a homeschooling mom to 6 kids, but she is so amazing at home management, at organization. She does meal planning. Her house just, I haven't been there yet, but every time I see videos of her house, it just looks immaculate and gorgeous and what I want in my house. So I cannot wait to glean some wisdom off of her and how she does chores in her house, because she's just so good at home management that I know that she's going to have some good wisdom to share with us, along with the other ladies that are joining in on this collaboration. So if you want to hear all about how these ladies do different chore systems or how they make chores work in their family, make sure you check out the playlist below after you're done watching my amazing video that shares how not to do chores. So I'm in this collab, but it's a little bit of a twist. Some of us are just not as good. Let's see, I don't want to call myself a failure, but some of us have growth that needs to happen. And so I'm just going to share with you guys what I've done wrong. So let's get into this. So the first thing, number 1, if you want to make sure that chores don't get done in your house, do it all yourself, because you're going to tell yourself either the kids are too young, really, they're too young to do any chores, or you're going to tell yourself, it's just easier. It's easier if I just do it all myself. Okay, so that is number 1. Do them all yourself and you'll make sure chores don't get done in your house. Or if they get done, they'll be done by you. You'll be so stressed and so stretched and so tired and exhausted. And once your kids are finally old enough, they're used to mom doing all the chores. So that is a major don't do it. I have done that. I think when my kids were little, I was always like, oh, they can't really do that much, and they might be able to do a little bit here and there. I feel like I really started late in chores. I've really kept the house pretty clean, especially when my kids were little and they were easier to keep up after, and I just did it myself. And then I started hearing about people that would have like their 3-year-old helping with chores, and my girls were like 6 and 7. I was like, oh, maybe they should be doing some chores. So I did start instilling chores, but I really missed some valuable years of training because I did it all myself. So that is definitely number 1. Don't do it all yourself. Number 2, if you want to make sure chores don't get done in your house, do not be consistent. Make sure you say something one day and then you don't do it the next day, and then you do it the next day, and then you forget about it the next day, but then you're upset that they didn't do it the next day. So if you totally want to fail at this and make sure your kids are not good at doing chores, don't be consistent. That is a struggle I have had. I come up with these amazing chore lists and different, I've had them on, laminated, chore lists. I've had them on little chalkboards. You can make them as pretty as you want, but if you are not consistent, they're not going to get done. And I majorly struggle with being consistent when it comes to chores. So that is number 2. Number 3 talks about consequences. So if you want to make sure chores don't get done, you can plan out these really pretty charts, these little checklists, or however you want to do it, these gorgeous chore charts, but make sure there are no consequences for the chores not getting done. Because if your kids know there are no consequences, then they know they really don't have to do chores. They know mom's going to do it. We'll go back to number 1. Mom will take care of it if I don't do it. And they're going to get that in their head. The best kids, the sweetest, most obedient little kids in the world could still really pick up on that and say, I think mom will do it. I'll just play and I'll kind of forget about it, or I'll do a half job. Half jobs happen a lot. But if they do that, then they know mom's going to take care of it or just won't get done, and there's no consequences. So that is definitely a guarantee that chores are not going to get done. If there are no consequences, just like in life, God gives us consequences for making bad decisions, for not doing what we're supposed to do. We face consequences every day, all the time. If you go to work and you sit at your desk and your boss gives you a job and you don't do the job, or you do it poorly, you get fired, you get demoted, lots of consequences. Well, there should be consequences with chores too. If you do not have consequences and your kids know that they can kind of get away with either doing a poor job, my kids are really good at doing half jobs. Either do a poor job or just don't do it at all, then you're going to guarantee chores are not going to get done. So number 4 is the flip side of number 3. If you want to make sure chores don't get done in your house, come up with a really great reward for your kids filling out their chart. I've done this before where I'll give them a chart and I say, if this chart is filled out at the end of the week and you have mostly all the checks on there and it shows that you did your chores, then we will do this on Friday night, or you get $1 every time you turn your thing in. And then sometimes they'll turn their paper in and I say, oh, I don't have cash, I'll get it to you later. Or, oh, we've got something Friday night, maybe we'll do it next week. And you keep going and putting it off and then you kind of forget it. And guess what? There was no reward. So not only, number 3, are there no consequences for not doing their chores, number 4, the reward doesn't really happen. So please follow through. Make sure if you're going to give them a reward, I don't think you have to pay your kids for chores. We've never really paid them for chores until recently. I did try that. I told them they'd get $1 and I wrote it at the bottom of the chore chart. You get $1 every time you turn this in at the end of the week. And I think we did it once. And I think instead of giving them $1, because I didn't have $1, I didn't have cash. So I took them to the store and I let them pick out one thing for $1. But then I only did it for like 1 week. I'm so not good at being consistent. Please learn from my mistakes. So if you want to make sure chores don't get done, promise a reward and then don't follow through. Okay, so number 5, let me ask you this. Are you a mom that's super tired? Raise your hand. Okay, I'm exhausted. So number 5 is for all of us tired moms out there. If you want to make sure chores don't get done in your house, then be too tired to care and just hope that no one stops by unexpectedly. I've gotten to that point where I see the living room's a mess and there's like 19 water bottles on the counter and there's a little pile of ants by the door because somebody left crumbs, a bunch of cracker crumbs all over the floor there. And you know what? I'm just too tired to care. All I want to do is plop on the couch, forget about the mess, and deal with it tomorrow. And then, it keeps going and it's a snowball and the kids don't care and everybody's tired. So if you want to make sure that chores don't get done, just don't care. Be too tired to care. Because I guarantee if you're too tired to care, even if you really, really want a clean house, if you're too tired to deal with it and to put the time and effort into it, you can guarantee the chores are not going to get done. Now, just in case you guys are curious what our chore list looks like, I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse. I have used so many different chore lists over the years, so it can look like whatever you want it to look like. I just made these in Excel. I just want you guys to see kind of what's expected for my kids and the different ages. So I'm just going to show you my oldest and my youngest to show you the difference of what I expect from them. And the girls in the middle kind of have something similar to the oldest. So this is my oldest daughter, my 12-year-old. So what I did was I just have a morning routine here. So these things, I actually made this when they were little. So typically I normally wouldn't need to write down some of the stuff like eat breakfast and stuff like that, but I already had this made up. I just changed some of the chores. So I'm like, whatever. I'm sure they sometimes forget to brush their teeth in the morning. So everything has to be marked off. So we've got eat breakfast, make bed, brush teeth and hair, get dressed, do the cat's food and litter box, and they know which thing they're responsible for, and then do chores. And do chores has to be, then they come down here and this is where their chores are. I've got this whole thing for their school list and I've got stuff blocked off. So this is how we're doing it. So for her chores, we've got vacuum the living room, and this is, so she's going to do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On the opposite days, my other older daughter, who's 10, she's going to be vacuuming the living room on Tuesday and Thursday. So I just blocked off the different days. They have to empty the dishwasher every single day. All of my girls do that together. This one, I actually have started having her load the dishwasher. That's something I always felt was mom's job. And then I realized, no, she can load the dishwasher too. Sometimes they'll do it wrong. My husband is one who will be like, let me just do it myself. And I'm trying to train them how to do it right so that I don't have to do everything. So I'm trying to have her start loading the dishwasher too. Then we've got sweep the kitchen and haul. So she does it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I used to just have one job where it's just vacuum the living room. And I was like, that's not enough. They can do more than that. So yes, vacuum living room is pretty quick. And sweep the kitchen and hall is another thing that is just going to be piled onto that. And then clean and sweep the bathrooms and toilets and all that stuff. I didn't want to list everything, but so she's going to do that on Tuesday and Thursday. My other daughter will do that. I've got the other two daughters on different days doing that too. This, I think, is going to be the key. I'm just going to show you this. As a family, everyone at the end of the day before they go to bed. So see, we've got a bedtime routine. They all work together and clean off the counter so that we wake up to a clean counter. They're going to pick up the toys in the living room so that when the person the next day that has vacuuming just has to vacuum and doesn't have to pick everything up. Brush teeth, get jammies on. And then if they do all that by 8 o'clock, it's been years that I've been good at doing bedtime. Lately, they've been staying up way too late. If they get all that done between like 7:30 and 8, then they're allowed to read for 20 minutes. I'm trying to get them in bed early so we can get an earlier start on our day. It's worked for 2 days. It's worked really well. So I can say we've been successful for 2 days. I'm not sure if that's, enough to write a book about, but that it's been working for us. Then here's just a glimpse of my youngest. So his morning routine is the same exact thing as the girls. And his school is different, obviously. And then his chores. I have vacuum living room. He's not going to do that. He could do that, but then usually somebody has to come behind him. He's 6, okay, just so you know for his age. And I haven't really had him do much. I really have been bad at having him do chores because I'm like, he's the baby. He doesn't, anyway, do better than me. Empty the dishwasher. He's going to start helping with that because you know what? It's really easy to put away silverware. So that's going to be his job, is putting away silverware. And the girls can put away all the stuff that's up high on higher shelves and stuff like that. Dust. Little kids can dust. They actually love to dust. Get him a fun duster and he loves to do it. So especially if you give a kid spray that's safe, they love spraying. And that goes to the next one. Mop the floors. Instead of having the girls do it, he is going to mop the floors because you know what? He loves it. I have one of those shark steamer mop things and he loves it. He used to, last year, I just had him spray the floors because he loved it. I gave him a little spray bottle and like a microfiber cloth and he would spray the floor. And I mean, our floor would have like spots all over that were like soaking wet. So he used a little too much. But the mop, I feel like, is more controlled and it's getting done. And he's going to love that job. So that's a glimpse at what their chore chart actually looks like. Now it's all on mom to at least be consistent in making sure there's consequences, there's rewards, and it gets done. Like no reading at the end of the night if they haven't done their chores. And they love to read at bedtime. So be consistent. We can do it. So if you want to fail, follow the 5 steps that I shared with you. If you want to be successful, please don't do what I did. Okay? So guys, this was kind of a little flip, kind of a funny, like lighthearted look at seriously what I've done wrong. I have made mistakes as a mom and I've made mistakes, especially in chores. I just talked to my co-op. We have like a mom's hour. So I teach 1 hour and then the second hour, all these moms get together and we talk and we ask questions. How do I do this? And I just asked them last week before I even knew about this collaboration. I asked, how do you get your kids to do chores? Because there's some things that I feel like I ask every day, day in and day out, and they just don't do it. Well, it falls back on mom. And some of these seasoned moms that actually know what they're doing, I'm not guaranteeing that their house is, spotless and clean because people live there. There's no way. It is difficult to keep up with it. But these moms said consistency is key. And yes, it's going to make you tired to keep up with them and it's going to make you maybe annoyed to have to say it over and over again. But if you, I think, this is the key, I don't know from experience because I'm not doing a great job at this, but I'm going to try. My idea is, or what I've gleaned from this wisdom from these other moms is, if you continue to, first of all, be consistent, if you take the time to plan out your list, they know what they have to do. It's a very clear list of what they have to do. If you make sure that there are consequences for them not getting the stuff done, have that list. If they don't get it done, they don't get screen time. They don't get to go to a friend's house. They don't get to go outside and play. So one of these moms, I asked her, she said, we live on 140 acres. So if they don't get their chores done, I give them another job. There's always something that needs done. So she just piles on, makes them do those chores that they should have gotten done earlier and gives them another chore. You do whatever you need to be your consequence, but stick with it. So stick with that consequence. Make sure if you are going to reward your kids, which I do think is good. I like getting rewards for doing good stuff. You know, I think it's good. It makes me feel better when I get rewarded for something. So I think it's good to make them feel good about being responsible and doing their chores. Talk to your husband. Figure out what reward would be good. It does not have to be big. I mean, even $1 a week, or you know, you get to watch a movie with me Friday night. If you did all your chores, if you didn't do your chores, you go to bed, something like that. So come up with that reward and do it no matter what. Make sure you give them that reward as soon as the week's over, as soon as the time is promised. The last thing is, no matter how tired you are, mama, I'm tired, you're tired, I know we're tired, don't give up. Don't just say, I don't feel like dealing with this. I don't want to tell this kid over and over again. I think that if we train them and we tell them at a consistent time and we stick with it and we're consistent with rewards and we're consistent with consequences, they're going to get it. And it's just going to become a natural thing. Yes, my oldest is 12, 10, 8, and 6, and we're not great at chores. But I've still got a good chunk of time left with them. So we're going to start now and we're going to get this right. And I'm going to work on being consistent because I do think a lot of this falls on mom. Okay, guys, I hope this was helpful. I really hope you guys can learn from my mistakes. I am fine being an open book and sharing with you guys. I am not perfect. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. When it comes to different things, I am learning every single day. And I want to share that with you guys so that you can maybe learn from me. I like when other moms share with me what they did wrong so that I don't have to do it. We can learn from each other. So if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know that you did like this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know, what kind of mistakes have you made? Have you made any of these 5 mistakes and you're trying to train up your kids to do chores right? Am I alone? I don't know. Maybe I am. Don't forget to subscribe. My videos are all about homeschooling, mom life, and thrifty stuff. So if you like those kind of things, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. Love you guys. Bye.